channel. Look down. #7.
Bruh.
364 days after the final in Basel, where JJ won Eurovision and Austria won their third ever song contest, it was time for Bulgaria to win it finally. Not only their second podium appearance in the history of Eurovision, their 15th appearance at the contest, their first since 2022. Would you believe it that Dara actually won? Probably if you told me like 3 weeks ago that I would win both the jury and the public, I would have said you'd be nuts. Maybe the public would have been guess, because you know that Bangaranga is a pretty public song. It had more points from public than from the jury, got more than 300. And so I think that, would have expected Bangaranga to be in the top 10 in the public if it qualified from the semi-final, and we'll get onto that later. But the important thing is that it won the juries with the least number of points by a country which has won the jury in quite some time. It was very tight. 10 countries got more than 100 points from the juries, and only one more than 200. That's Bulgaria, of course. Romania, my country, we got third after a very good and impressive public performance, and I'm very happy with that. Could have been a better return as we saw in Bulgaria, but I'm still happy about it. And our third place is by points the best result we've had in Eurovision so far. Israel once again takes second with the political stuff, but I think it was a much larger margin. Bulgaria actually won with the largest winning margin in Eurovision history by points. So we have to say that there was some obvious gap in there, and Israel wasn't able to fill that gap and get on with it and win the contest. Thankfully for the future of the Eurovision Song Contest. Otherwise, there's a lot to talk about. Sweden getting their worst result since 2010, when they got knocked out in the semifinals. France, Czechia, Malta, all underperforming with the public, especially Malta. I expected them to do way better than just 8 points. Belgium, the UK, Germany, back to null points. Against at least Belgium qualified. Lithuania was also at null point, almost a null point, because Latvia gave them 12 points and saved them from this embarrassment. It's not really an embarrassment, but because people voted for it whatsoever, but it's not nice to see. Finland underperformed massively. Greece was expected to have 300 points, or at least 250. 147, the same as Sal Da Vinci. Not what we expected from the public. But I do think that they got a little bit more points from the jury than we thought it would. Norway, I think, outperformed the predictions. I think it was one of the good surprises. Same goes for Poland. This time flipping the script, not getting a very bad jury vote and then a very good public vote the other way around. And that was 19 points is still a lot better than other countries from televote, but still not enough to really make a real challenge. Italy continued their top 7 streak. Australia, their best result since Damim, I think. And I think they've got to be really, really happy with that. Even though it is off the podium and they could have won the jury. I think Denmark was probably the country which underperformed the most with the televote, because Even if we expected Finland to get like 300 points and they got less than 200, they still got something. So, and they finished sixth, while Denmark, while they finished in the top 10, they still didn't get that many points. I think Moldova overperformed a bit in the public. I think Ukraine definitely overperformed a bit. I think that the jury was so close that these differences could be made, and we will benefit from those, and Bulgaria will benefit from those. Now let's talk a bit about the semifinals, because we've got the results there too. And would you believe it? Switzerland was 9th with the juries and 9th with the public. That means qualification spots for both. But overall, because of the large gap up front or behind, it finished with 138 points, 11th, and out of a final spot, which is incredible. It's the same situation as TikTok, but I mean that was a little bit closer. It was 9th and 10th, not 9th and 9th. So yeah, you don't want to see that. I also think that Latvia underperformed with the jury. Again, I'm using this word because this is the realistic stuff. Not other people expected. Bulgaria basically wasn't even contention to get the top 10 with juries. Never mind win the whole thing. And then, of course, the controversies with Moldova's and Romania's voting. Moldova usually gives 12 points to Romania. This time it was a change. Wow, what a surprise. But we still got 12 points from Luxembourg from the jury, both in the semi-final and the grand final, and I'm not complaining with 232 points at all. It's going to be fun in Bulgaria next year. I think it might be one of the countries where you have to be most countries, because we might have Netherlands back already. We might have North Macedonia, their Bulgaria's neighbor, and we might have Bosnia and Herzegovina back with Eurovision back in the Balkans for the first time since like 2007. I think I might, and I mean it was Baku in 2012, but that was a bit overseas. I still think it could get up to 40 participants. We'll see. The idea is we had a very interesting grand final, a very weird result, and again the odds weren't completely right. The Bulgaria's late climb was predicted. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and well, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.